What's up, guys? BMac here with Dip Traders, and today we're going to go over ISEE or IC, and we're going to cover what led us to believe that this stock was being blatantly manipulated by institutions and how we ended up trading it. Part of what you're going to see in this video is some callouts that we made in the Discord, and if you're not already in the Discord, I highly recommend you check it out. The link is below. We're a great community of momentum traders. There's some great callouts. Like I said, you're going to see some of those in this video today. So let's get started. What did we see on ISEE from right out of the gate, from the beginning of the day? Let's take a look at first the pre-market high, which is this line right here. Okay, and the first thing that we do out of the gate is rip through VWAP, and this line right here is VWAP, and we put in a high of 14.99. We have a small little pullback, and we fail to break this major psychological level of $15, and we put in a nice red candle. Could look like a reversal candle. I don't know yet. Who knows, right? We come back down to VWAP. We put in a low here of 13.97 and another low here of 13.97. So if you're looking to get long, you think maybe, this is curling a little bit, I'm going to get long. Where's your stop, right? Your stop's probably going to be right below these equal lows, right below VWAP. It's a decent place for a stop, maybe a little tight, but nonetheless, there should be some stops there. First, it goes a little bit higher, maybe sucking in some more longs, and then we come back down and collect those longs liquidity right here. And liquidity is just stops. They're retail trader stops. They know, institutions know, that your stops are going to reside below these levels here, like equal lows. So they artificially create these zones for retail traders to put their stops so that institutions can come and collect your stop losses. Remember, if you're getting stopped out of this position, you are going to sell your shares, and the retails or the institutions are going to buy your shares at these levels. Why are they going to buy your shares? Because they want to take it higher, and that's exactly what they did. If there were shorts in this case, shorts stop losses could have been here, they could have been here, and likely a lot of this move was fueled by shorts getting stopped out of their positions. So we make a new high a day. We pull back down to VWAP. We have a nice little artificial bounce at VWAP. We come back down below, make a fresh low below VWAP, and then bounce again. And throughout this move, you can see that the highs are relatively equal. For example, this high right here is 14.90. This high right here is 14.88. We got 14.90 on this one, 14.90 here, and 14.90 here. But before we get this far in the chart, I just want to go back a little bit. And let's look at this trend line that is forming, right? So institutions are building this trend line because what? Because they know that retail traders are going to put their stop losses below this trend line. So retail traders are getting sucked in thinking, okay, this level at 14.90 is probably going to break. We're going to break through 15. We're going to make a fresh high. This is going to be a great risk to reward trade because I can put my stop right below this ascending trend line. We're above VWAP. Everything's looking great, right? And what do? They come and collect all those stop losses that lie below this trend line before doing what? Taking it higher. But what do they do first? They don't take it any higher than this level right here because remember, they put in a high of 14.90. So let me just draw a trend line here. So now, anybody who's looking to short this stock, this is a level that is held 4 times. So where is the most obvious spot to put your stop loss if you're going to short this stock? Right at this level, right above this level is the obvious spot to put your stop loss. So just remember that going forward. And institutions know that if they want to sell their shares, they can just take it above these levels because there's going to be what? A lot of short covering, a lot of shorts that have to buy back their shares, and institutions can just sell into all these buyers right here. So just remember that there are a lot of buyers in this area here. Okay, so we have a pretty gnarly sell-off all the way through VWAP, almost making it to fresh low a day. Definitely shorts that are getting interested in this move because there's no real bounces. We're below VWAP. We haven't even entered this wide body candle. Major sign that this is a pretty strong down move. So we come down here. We put in fresh equal lows here. I think the low here was what? 1337. What do we got here? 1339. So almost equal, right? And we're consolidating. Another potential place to get short if you're looking for a move down to the low a day. But what do? They take out these lows, potentially getting more shorts interested, and where those short stop losses right above this area here before doing what? Taking it higher. And likely this was a lot of short covering on this move right here. And they take it right to VWAP. So before I go further, I just want to make you aware that these are the things that we were calling out in the Discord, saying really they should have, if under normal circumstances, if a stock was not manipulated, it would have taken out these levels right here. So we already know something's up. It just seems like every stop loss that a retail trader would set is getting triggered. And we know that there's probably an institution on the other side that is manipulating this and causing that to happen. So now we're kind of thinking, what is the exact opposite that a retail trader should do going forward? And this is what we're calling out. So let me go forward here, and we get to this point here where we're putting in equal highs. And what do equal highs mean? They're great areas for shorts to set stop losses against. And this line right here is where we made one call out in the Discord, which let me bring us to that. Sorry, I got to jump around here. Okay, so right here we said that ISEE is going to go grab some liquidity and trap shorts around 1370 and then rip back through 1440 to collect that liquidity. And we said ISEE is probably going to chop around here for a little while before they pull the rug on the shorts. And this is what I was talking about here. This is the trend line that was drawn in TD Ameritrade. And these are those equal highs at 1436 that I also pointed out. And I said, well, if they want to build more liquidity, what would they do? Well, they would create a trend line here. They've created one low here, and they'll probably create a higher low here, trapping retail traders buying this trend line. So then they can go collect this liquidity and do what? Hard sell into this liquidity here, collecting more liquidity in this area down here. So let's actually see what happens. Okay, so coming back to the chart, we said we're probably going to balance around this area, tap on the trend line, and then go in the other direction. And it looks like we tapped the trend line to the penny, so pretty good stuff there. Then we come back up and tap this area to almost the penny as well. We have a nice pullback, and again we've now tapped this area once, twice, and 3 times. So you really, if you don't see that giant red candle, you're probably thinking, okay, we have an ascending trend line. We have this level right here that we've tapped 3 times, and we have a nice pullback just under VWAP. As we break, we're probably going to go through this area here, and instead, the institutions know that we all see this. It's too obvious, right? So where are all of these buyers' stop losses going to be? They're going to be right here, which means those weak hands will sell you their shares if you can bring price to these levels. And that's exactly what they do. They collect on those shares. And in fact, there was a lot of volume that came in here. I expected it to be held up at the trend line, but that wasn't the case. It actually sold right through the trend line and created a low right here. So there was a low here. It wicked below, again, collecting on any stop losses. And I think that was the at least intermediate term low. They brought it back higher. Again, if there were shorts in this area, those stop losses would be triggered so that they could sell some more shares up here. And then again, a nice consolidation here, Where do those stops lie? Right here. And they've been collected on. We put it in equal low, which is interesting because I would expect them to go below this low to pick up any stop losses that resided, any longer term stop losses that resided below this level. But they put it in an equal low, and we'll come back to that in a little bit. And this is why it was kind of interesting to me why they did this. But from here, I think the race was on to get to this level up here and right into after hours. They did the deed. They took it above this level. But we still had this level that we had drawn up here waiting to be breached. So I still thought that there was higher to go. This is 1490. And they didn't quite make it to 1490. What they did do is consolidate above this zone that they just broke out of, maybe getting more buyers interested for a break for this level, and then just for good measure, squeeze every bit of retail's shares out of them with this final bump, and that's all she wrote. And then into the end of the day, I think they took it a little bit higher. So now we do have the benefit of looking at this in hindsight, and I'm actually recording this segment of the video on Tuesday the following week so that we could see what they do with these liquidity zones, because two of them exist now. And if we just zoom out and we look at this as a whole, we have this level here, which has not been breached, and we have this level here that has not been breached. Now, it definitely seems like their goal is to take this higher, but they've created equal lows down here, and they've created additional selling pressure if we get to these levels where they can buy more shares. So they know if they can bring price below here, they should be able to take it higher. Now, the fact that they got this high was a little sketchy. I thought that they were going to break through this level and then go, but I thought, why would they create these equal lows if they would do that? And lo and behold, if we take a look at the action Monday morning, on quite low volume, they were able to sell it all the way down to beneath these lows, consolidate for a little bit, collecting all these shares. And then finally, they took it in the other direction. And again, every step of the way, you can see what they did. Take it up, consolidate, come back down, collect any buyers in this area to collect on their stop losses, take it higher, consolidate, collect stop losses, take it higher. And then finally, we get to that 1490 level, which I think was their ultimate goal. And I think higher is ultimately the goal as well. They've managed to collect as many shares as possible from retail. And really, this is just over and over again. We're seeing the transfer from weak hands to strong hands, weak hands to strong hands. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I hope if you see this in the future, you won't be one of these poor retail buyers who are getting stopped out of every trade. And hopefully you can make some money on it when you realize what they're doing. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. If you liked, please subscribe and thumbs up the video, and we'll see you in the next one.